Welcome to another Coffee and Curveballs. I'm Tommy. He is Shooter. We have a big wrap-up for you from the West Coast Procase with the high school seasons winding down. Shooter, what was it like in I guess sort of your neck of the woods, but more my neck of the woods?
Well, anytime I go to Dedeaux Field there at USC, historic field on that campus, which is gorgeous. It's always a good time, but to have players in the 24 class and 25 class who are going to make an impact in the MLB draft made it even better.
So we have a top 10 that you came up with after the Procase. We're going to start at number 1. It's a catcher / first baseman, Nick Montgomery, currently committed to ASU.
And all these guys are draft prospects. Literally every guy there is a draftable guy. So these were kind of those impact players in my look on this one day. But Nick Montgomery, Cypress High School, great program there in Southern California, 6'4", 210, square shoulders, looks like an Adonis on the field, really fills out that uniform. But it's that power projection from the right side. He hammered some baseballs, played first base during workouts, but oh no, during the game, he goes behind the dish. He's 195 between innings, everything's super clean, can really receive, threw some guys out in the game. I think he has a really big time chance to catch, and he elevated himself into the upper echelon in this 24 class with regards to draftable catchers.
Weird question. If he's only a first baseman, is he still your number 1?
Yes, just because of the power projection, everybody wants the guys that hit the ball so hard and are also athletic, but the fact that he can go to a premium position makes him even more valuable.
We're going to move on to number 2, and I will caveat this. I'm going to say they're college commitments, but there's a strong chance that they never end up there. But just for those interested, left-handed pitcher Ethan Scheffelbein, currently committed to UCLA.
So Scheffelbein's a guy who we put out our rankings, top 25 in the class right now, and he did not disappoint. Comes out, first arm to get on the bump, explosive, 91 to 93, big time metrics, that induced vertical break, was really getting that ride in life through the zone, getting some whiffs, and then breaking off a quality break ball. 6'2", 170, squared shoulders. He's going to grow more into that frame. There's kind of a quirky intensity to the way he goes about things. He is left-handed, but he gets out, he throws strikes, and he was not scared. He faced some dudes at the plate, and he made a lot of them look silly.
Number 3 is a two-way guy, right-handed pitcher and a shortstop, Levi Sterling, committed to Texas.
Man, this guy from Notre Dame there, Sherman Oaks, really, really good. And seen him in the past, committed to Texas, two-way, gets up during the shortstop portion, looks the part out there, hops in the plate, showing off some power from the right side. Everything came easy, fluid, moved through impact well. But then he goes out to the bump. He's about close to 6'5", really looks the part of a future starter. 3 pitches for a strike, including a really quality breaking ball and changeup. But the fastball, I'd expect it next year to be in the mid-90s, even at the end of the summer, seeing that. But I think he's definitely elevated himself into kind of the big-time right-handers where he could push his way into day one consideration over the next year.
Number 4, UCSB commit, Jack Hafferkamp.
Can really run, 92 from the outfield, but the bat speed was absolutely electric. And with those long limbs, it can be hard to have that barrel accuracy, find the right spot each time. He had no issues with that, stays compact, but can really whip it through the zone. There's power potential, love the BP, but then he goes into the game and also finds some success, which is very hard to do in a one-look clip against these arms who are blowing it out. So really like the way that Hafferkamp swings the bat and can potentially stick in center field. UCSB recruit.
And one of those arms you're mentioning is this guy at number 5, UCLA recruit Waylon Moss.
So Waylon Moss, modern day, obviously historic program there in the Trinity League. He had an outstanding spring, which really got him onto my radar. UCLA recruit, that also helps. It's a good place to start. But kind of signed up late, about 6'3", 180. He's still growing into a pristine, uber projectable frame. But up into the low 90s, feel for a breaking ball. He came out and pumped strikes. One of the best movers at the event. Athletic, the arm really works. I think his upside is immense. He's going to continue to get better. And when you're in that Trinity League and you succeed, it says a lot and it lowers any risk.
Now, a lot of the guys on this list are staying somewhat West Coast, so that props to the West Coast colleges for keeping him over here. This guy is not one of them, though. He's going to Tennessee, potentially, if he doesn't go in the draft. It is shortstop Ty Salvesen.
Yeah, Salvesen's no stranger to the limelight. He's been outstanding since his freshman year. He's from the state of Nevada, going to Tennessee. Just love the moxie that he brings out onto the diamond. Slowed things down at shortstop, did the same in BP. For a guy who's only about 5'8" or so, 5'8", 5'9", and undersized is the new 6'4", so you better believe that with Ty Salvesen. He can turn that barrel. It's heavy. He's got some sneaky pop, drives the ball to all fields, had a hit in the game, but he's a guy who the track record just shines on him, and he has that it factor about him.
And as a guy who's unofficially 5'10", I'm gonna give it to myself though. It's nice to hear the little guys, the shorter guys, finally getting their due. We are the new 6'4". I'm gonna put that out there. At number 7, another shortstop, Jackson Forbes, on his way potentially to Arizona.
Forbes was a guy who shined at our future games as an uncommitted underclassman, and his bat has only gotten better. Just one of, if not my favorite swings at this event. Just moves well through that impact again. He's just a quality mover. The hands are fluid, but the bat speed, he finds the barrel works uphill, blasted a home run in gameplay to kind of like cap an epic day all around from everybody. Really put an exclamation point on the whole event, but he's going to hit. And that's what guys are getting paid for. This dude can hit. He's going to play any position on the infield, on the dirt, can go in the outfield. Almost has a Cronenworth-like vibe to him. I can go anywhere, and my bat's going to play. So huge fan of Jackson Forbes.
So yeah, Cronenworth, we talk about Cronenworth. Cronenworth pitched in college also. This next guy at number 8, shortstop / pitcher, Maximo Martinez, headed to USC again, potentially.
So Maximo Martinez, this is a kid who we've been following for a while. I hadn't seen him in person. He blew me away. SoCal shortstops, they are as good as it gets. He looked the part of one of those guys. Easy actions, obviously has big arm strength. He also hopped on the mound at the end of a long day. It was up to 94 with some explosive metrics to go along with feel for spin. Can swing the bat, everything. I can't say enough about how good he was in everything. He's going to be a dynamite player at USC if he gets there, but I expect a lot of draft eyes to get out there, because whether it's on the mound, where I think he'll be up into the upper 90s sooner rather than later, creating some whiffs in the zone, but the bat can really turn. I think he's got that power to the pull side right now, and he's just a ball player. What's not to like?
Yeah, and again, a lot of eyes always in that area, the South LA, Orange County area. He's just another one of those names to keep an eye on. Right-handed pitcher, headed to Arizona, if he doesn't go in the draft and leave, is Smith Bailey.
You're making a lot of recruiting coordinators very, very nervous with this.
I got to, man. Just be honest with everybody. I got to be honest with everybody.
Well, I'll close out with these last two guys because they're both Arizona kids. Smith Bailey, a right-hander, committed to Arizona. Mason Russell, a left-hander, committed to ASU. Bailey, 6'5". I mean, you put it on the uniform, you put him on the mound, and immediately your eyes go there. What does this kid have? Well, he's got a low 90s fastball, easy mover down the mound, arm works long and loose, can throw strikes with 3 pitches, just looks like a starter. Starters get paid. This kid's going to continue to rise. Love what he has, another former future game. And then Mason Russell coming off a monster year. This kid's an absolute winner. I knew it coming in. He goes out there and competes. The spin metrics were really shiny for him, up I think over 2,500 with the fastball, which was 87 to 89 in this look. I'd expect it up higher in the next few weeks and later on in the summer. And then the breaking ball moving up 26, 2,700. But he looks the part of a starter as well. But a really, really talented group there in Arizona too.
So those are the top 10 of the guys we saw at the West Coast Procase in the 24 class. We got 2 groups of 3 here. First, the 3 underclass names to know. Angel Cervantes, committed currently to UCLA.
Cervantes might have been my favorite player at the whole entire event. Had a huge spring, top 15, I think, in the country in this 25 class. And he shows up, one of the youngest kids there, nice as can be. He crossed those lines and he got mean in a hurry. And it was 91 to 93, and he was not shying away from these guys a year older who are going to be big-time draft picks. He said, I'm the best here, and I'm going right at you. And he was generating whiffs in the zone with the fastball, jumped in there, feel for the breaking ball, could flip it in at any moment. But he was hunting strikes in the zone, hunting those swings and misses, and was looking to embarrass guys. And you got to love that as a coach, as a scout, as anything. This is a kid who can win. Huge fan of Angel Cervantes.
The other 2 on this list are both catchers. It's Trent Greinlinger and Brady Dallimore. Trent uncommitted, Brady TCU.
So got to see a lot from Trent Greinlinger at Huntington Beach this year. Huge program who just continues to roll out dude after dude after dude. What are the Oilers bringing? Benji, what are you doing there? So physical, 6'2", 210, square shoulders. It's noticeable, barrel-chested, catch and throws there on the bag, strong arm, 80 miles an hour from behind the plate. But the bat's what's really going to step him up in draft eyes, because similar to a Nick Montgomery, he don't get cheated. And everything works. It's fluid. He's working uphill, can drive the ball out of the ballpark. He's going to be one of the best raw power guys in that 25 class. And then Dallimore, who it's a plus arm from behind the dish. He was up to 96 from the outfield, 87 from the crouch, which is like almost unheard of. It actually was almost reminiscent of, I don't want to put this on him, but like very similar to Paul Skeens when he was at the California Procase back in high school. Huge arm behind the plate, big physical kid. He was up to 104.7, I believe, with exit velocities from the right side. If he ever did want to pitch, I think he could maybe tickle 100 or triple digits, but he looks the part behind the dish. It's a premium catch and throw guy with a chance for power from the right side of the plate.
And I want to say it again because earlier I guess I was making the recruiting coordinators nervous. This should make you not nervous because there's a kid with the big U, the uncommitted next to his name, in Trent Breinlinger. So you can make up for one that you may lose in the draft. There we go. That's my give back.
He won't be uncommitted for long. I'll tell you that much.
Whatever. I put the offer on the table. We have 3 sleepers now, starting with a right-handed pitcher headed to Oregon State, Dax Whitney.
Oregon State. Guess where he's from, Tommy? He's from Idaho. Scouts are going to be heading out to Idaho next year because they got a nice little 24 class there. But Whitney's 6'4", 91, 93, jumping out of the frame. He plays a lot of shortstop back home and in the past. So I think he's only just beginning to get that polish on the mound, which makes his metrics that much more exciting. The breaking ball had solid spin with some depth. I think that's only going to take a couple of jumps in the coming years as he concentrates a little bit more on his mound work. But man, this guy looks like a college tight end, could grow into that frame, which is only going to help him. I think the velo is going to continue to rise. He's short out of the glove, short, quick arm, working downhill, but huge fan of the Oregon State Beavs recruit.
Sounds like one of those big Boise State football players coming straight from Idaho to go stand on the mound. Number 2, we got a catcher, Luke Taylor, USC.
Luke Taylor, a Utah kid who was the first catcher to go in the defensive portion, and he made it tough for those guys behind him because he was that good. It was a professional round, did not rush, everything worked fluid, and he put it on the bag each and every time. It was outstanding. The footwork, everything was there at right around a 1.9 throughout. I think it was a little bit lower at times. And then, at the plate, short, quick stroke, works uphill, has some power, some pop, it jumps off the bat. Those catchers who can really defend and then have that power, those are guys that are going to get followed, especially right now and moving forward. But Luke Taylor, USC recruit from the state of Utah.
And this is my first time getting to say this, so I'm kind of excited to be able to say it. And his future conference mate going to Northwestern. Yes, USC and Northwestern, by the time they get there, we'll both be in the Big Ten. Very weird. Get used to it, though. Zach Carlson, an outfielder.
There's some Bruin and Trojan grads who are just like shivering thinking about those back-to-back weekends at Rutgers and Penn State. But Zach Carlson, I just thought he was super hitterish. Left-handed hitter. He's at the future games. I followed him throughout the spring. Everything works in the setup, and then he don't get cheated. Like, he expects success. He can change planes. His pitch processing stands out. He's an outfielder. I think he's got a chance to really hit, but he's a guy in Utah, and this Utah 24 class is something to follow. Those guys weren't alone there. There are some other guys, too, that were definitely on draft radars.
All right, so those are the 10 draft impact guys in 24, the 300 class names, and some sleepers from the West Coast Procase. Shooter, what else you got for us? Any other tidbits, information, things we need to look out for?
This just kicks off the summer, Tom. We got stuff coming all summer. NPI kicking off at Lake Point. We're going into tons of events. It won't stop till the future games.
And again, weird to say, I hope you enjoyed your time in Big Ten territory down there in Los Angeles. That's not going to get that will never get.
It's weird to say.
All right. Thank you, Shooter. Thanks for joining us. We'll see y'all next time.